Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another reviews. Today, we're breaking down. No, we're talking about episode 2 of Smoking, Smoking Behind the Supermarket Video. I wonder if there's an acronym or like a short word. Should I be calling it Smoking Supermarket? I don't know. But anyway, we're talking about episode 2. Or for those who've been watching like the parts of the episode, it's episode 4. Not technically, but it's technically episode 2, but episode 4. Okay, what I mean technically, okay, sorry, the first 3 episodes of Smoking Behind the Supermarket were released in Crunchyroll, but they were cut into parts. Like each episode was cut into 12-minute parts, making those 3 episodes into 6 episodes. So essentially, episode 1 covered episode 1 that released last week covered part 1 and 2 of the cut the cut episodes, making it episode 1. That's the same thing for here. So episode 2 basically adds episode 3 and 4 of like the ones that were released. I don't know if they were released officially or maybe they were just snippets, but that's basically. So officially, I think the was this. Let's look at kind of first. Okay, let's look at here. We're on the 17th right now. Episode 3 will cover part I'll say 4, no, part 5 and 6. So I think officially the new parts of the episode will be released. We start from on the 28th. That's when we kind of get like new episodes wise. I think so. No, I'm pretty sure that's how we get. So basically, this anime, I don't know if it's a 24-part episode, but officially on the 28th, that's when we kind of be getting new content. Like for the people who've watched all 6 parts of the episodes, that's when you'll be getting like more episodes. But like for people like me who haven't, who are watching like the official releases, full version releases, we are getting new content weekly, and yeah, you know what it means. Anyway, let's get it into the episode and let's talk about the good, the bad. There's no bad about the episode. The episode was fire. I enjoyed it's this this episode. The thing I realized about smoking behind the by I realized about smoking. I think I'll be calling it smoking. The thing I realized about smoking is it's a slow burner, which I love slow burner romances. And another thing, okay, I said this last episode, but like who will he pick? Like I know we all know Tayama and Yamada are the same person. We know that, but like Sasaki doesn't know that. So like because we know he loves Yamada, but I don't think it's a love like that. Like I think he only like it's like how he like I'm a fan of like a popular like a songwriter. Like I love this like someone who makes music. I love their music, so I love them, but like not in like a love way, but like he's developing like a close feelings with Tayama. So I don't know if like I know they're all the same person, but like it's just you guys just want to know like who will he go? Will he go for the cheerful vibe or will he go for the gothy girl? You just don't know. Okay, okay. For what I'm reading for Tayama. We all know that the same person, but like in this situation, I'm rooting for Tayama and Yamada at the same time. I don't know who to pick. Anyway, let's just get into the episode. Right, what I'm saying doesn't even make sense to me as well. Let's just move on. And you guys remember when I said last episode how was this? I wanted like the episode kind of touch on how toxic Japanese work environments are. Like this episode doesn't. I wouldn't say touches about it, but like it kind of hints and nudges at it because in this scene alone, Sasaki kind of I wouldn't say works overnight, but like he works from day to night to the point where like he was physically exhausted. We know like Sasaki loves Yamada, and like every time he sees her, he like gets jiggly and happy. But like in this scene, I wouldn't say he feels nothing. He was just too exhausted to the point where like he just paid for his things and like went home like that was basically what kind of happened, which like I said, it didn't touch up, but like it kind of hinted on how like bad his working situation is for YouTube. Like we know he goes in this episode. It kind of shows that he goes to work early and then you come back at night. Like I don't think that's a good thing. And like with him smoking a lot and with bad hours, and I think he probably gets really bad sleep because he gets home really late. He gets home really late. Bad sleep, smoking, waking up early. I no wonder he has such baggy eyes. Like you can tell from his eyes, he just wants to go home, take a nice warm bath, and just crash and sleep the whole day through. That's basically that's basically what I do every day. Am I like on anime? That's the vibe that this episode gave me. Like I don't know if the author was intended to like actually touch upon it, but like it did. Like I just enjoyed the scene more. Yeah, like even Yamada put out like her most like jet like her most happiest smile, like the brightest smile she can bring out. Like Sasuke could only like I don't know if it's small. Like I don't even call this a small. Like it was it was just a small grin. He only grinned a bit, but like he was physically exhausted that he couldn't even appreciate such a beautiful moment that his Yamada was giving him such a precious smile. And one thing I've kind of realized in this episode, like um in later episodes, in the later parts of the episode, they kind of interact, but like Yamada and Sasuke don't really have that much talking. Well, like he only buys stuff, pays. It's only like an interaction between them, but like in this episode, we kind of see them actually have like a genuine conversation, which I think was really nice because we only get to talk to Tayama a lot. We never actually talk to Yamada. Yamada, the only time we talk to her is in the cashier, and it's only just saying hello, hi, her ringing up our order, our stuff, and us going. We never really actually had like a proper conversation until this episode. Yeah, Yamada was really shocked. Like this is how it sounds like he usually acts. Like when Yamada tells him that he has many points, he really didn't react. But like this is how you should. This is how Sasaki acts. But like I say, he was too exhausted to the point where like he maybe brushed it off. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. But like I feel like if he goes home because in this episode he didn't technically go home right away. He went like at the back to like smoke, get a smoke with Tayama. But like if he didn't, like if Tayama wasn't there, I feel like he would have gone home, crashed, and not even taken off his suit. He probably just lay in his suit, wake up, take a shower, put on a different suit. Another part of the episode that I really enjoyed is this part. This is right after like the supermarket interaction where he kind of goes to like have a smoke with Tayama because even though he's exhausted, like he's stressed and exhausted, like he was really craving a smoke right here. And like he didn't find Tayama at first, and then he was about to go, and then Tayama came out, and then he noticed that her hair was tied down. Okay, okay. Let me explain. Let me go scene by scene. Yeah, okay. Let's go scene by scene. It starts with Tayama telling Sasaki that Yamada was really worried about him because the way he acted wasn't like his usual self, and like then Sasaki kind of explains to Tayama that he's actually really exhausted and like he didn't mean to like act. Actually, he thought he was acting rude, but like Tayama tells him that it's not that he was acting rude, it was that Yamada was really worried about him. And then Sasaki kind of mentions about how like her hair is tied down. She must have like rushed to actually get to him and tell him. And like I say, I like this scene because it shows that Yamada 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 herself was actually really worried about like him and what's like she wanted to know what's wrong with him, to the point where like when her shift ended she rushed in without like actually putting her hair tying her hair up because Yamada ties her okay Tayama ties her hair up, Yamada does not. So when her hair was down, Sasuke kind of like knew that she actually came here without, she actually rushed here to like tell her the words that Yamada told her, but like which were coming from her. This whole thing is really confusing to me. When you're talking about it, it's confusing, but like when you watch the episode, it makes a lot of sense, you know. Anyway, this was a genuinely like a really wholesome scene. I enjoyed it very much. It kind of shows how he I wouldn't say he knows about her, but like he kind of knows her enough to actually pick up on some certain things about her, like how she usually has her hair tied up instead of down. Like she never has her hair down because we know that Yamada is the person who has her hair down and Tayama has her hair always up. Look at this scene. I think this scene was also another good scene. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like it was basically Tayama just teasing Tasaki. I think she gets a kick out of teasing him very much. I think that's her wingo. She likes teasing. Yeah, this is what I was saying. This is the Tayama we know. Tayama always has her hair tied up. But since she was in a hurry to check up on Sasaki, she kind of didn't tie her hair up. She just put on her clothes and ran out. Okay, here is another part of the episode that kind of was funny and shocking at the same time. Okay, let me explain how this whole part kind of reached out and like why I find this scene really funny. Okay, it starts like this. Remember last episode when I talked about how Sasaki was doing like an employee's job because they didn't do it well and the employee was like a beginner, so I was saying they shouldn't even give it anyway. That beginner employee Sasaki kind of like he didn't yell at her. He just told her like it's not her fault and like he was trying to comfort her. But like since she was those like she was welling up with like emotions because like she was scared. She was probably sleep deprived because this is Sasaga's job. I think is a blood company. Blood company kind of like exhaust the workers and like having that moment of kindness kind of like made her cry because like Sasaki is just that guy, but like she didn't explain it to Sasaki and Sasaki got yelled at and now he thought that maybe he was a scary person, so he kind of like wanted to know like how to actually smile. And then um Tayama kind of explains how like the supermarket is where like there is a perfect way to smile, like how Yamada always has like her eyes closed with a smile. That's basically how like the supermarket wants them to be, like you know the perfect, especially the perfect smile. That's what was it that was Tayama was trying to teach anyway to teach Sasaki. Anyway, now everything leads back to this thing. This was genuinely funny because if not even if you pay close attention, but like one, her eyes are closed and she's smiling. This is basically Yamada Tayama just basically going up without even saying it, telling him that she is Yamada because she looked like Tayama. Maybe because the heavy makeup because what's this? I don't think Yamada puts on makeup when she's on her shift, so I doubt that he can tell. Maybe it's the makeup, maybe it's the god accident, but like this was funny to me because like it was basically like right in his face telling him that this is Yamada, but like like he's a dance. I wouldn't like he's a dance. Like it's a rom-com, so like of course he's dance, but like I don't know, like is he blind as well? Because like I immediately when I saw them, I was like, yeah, this is it. Because like this, it's a really shocking and funny thing to me. Like I say, I watch a lot of rom-com anime, so like a dance MC is not really anything new. I don't mind it. I just find it funny when like the character kind of tells the dance MC that they are the person they are. Like they kind of show like their feelings, and then the MC doesn't get it, and like I just find like you kind of get used to the point where like you just find it very funny. And we have our I would say quote unquote like Tayama, our angry Tayama moment, which this was like a comment. This was like a wholesome, funny side where like even though he didn't know he was making fun of like Tayama not really looking like, I would say he was shocked that Tayama could smile because of the goth aesthetics, but like Tayama was kind of upset because she's basically Yamada and like the whole thing is just complicated, but like He was laughing, she got upset. It was just a sweet wholesome moment. Anyway, after that, I feel like the next day I think he got a quote unquote somewhat sleep because he was back to his usual self, and I think Yamada was also able to like tell that he's back to his normal self. Okay, there's something that's like when he sees Yamada with her eyes open, what does he think? That does Sasuke think that she looks? I don't know, like, because right now, even though she doesn't have like her god aesthetics, the makeup and anything, she really looks like Tayama. Like, maybe no, I don't know. He's in his 40s. Maybe he has really bad eyesight. I don't know. Maybe it tells by color, but like, it's really crazy. Another part of the episode that I really enjoyed is it's this Yamada moment. It's because I think because Sasaki had a rare, and I'm saying rare, but like in rare, like this is rare meat type of rare. Like this is like a once in a, this is like seeing a full moon on the moon near the sun. This was a rare moment, but like, yeah, Sasaki was like on his day off. Like again, I want to specify this is a really rare moment, but like he was on his day off, so he didn't go to the supermarket because he only goes to no, he did go to super. Anyway, let me explain. He only goes to he goes to the supermarket when coming back, but like since he was on his day off, he didn't go there. But like he wanted to have the smoke and they didn't want to smoke alone, so he was going to the supermarket to like see to see Tayama. But like this was um I'll say this was a sweet moment because it shows that okay, it shows the Yamada side of it. It showed that Yamada also like likes the interactions they have in the supermarkets. Even though they're short and brief interactions, she also enjoys them as well as like smoking with them. Like those interactions just make her really happy. And here is another angry Tayama moment, and you wanna know why? And for those wondering why she's angry, is because she got a complaint from work. Like I think these are the worst, and like it's basically someone says that okay, it goes like this. Someone said that she is always cheery, but like she smells like smoke. So like it was basically like their like perception of Yamada was crushed because they believe that Tayama should be this perfect girl where like she can do no wrong, but like smelling smoke from her I think was the last straw, which I think is crap because why though? Like I don't believe anyone is perfect, and like the bit like Tayama is like the idol of the supermarket, so every person is basically putting like her on a pedestal that she doesn't even really want it. Like I think it's suffocating, like putting up an act even though it's for work where you have to like smile constantly, like even though people it's just it was freaking it was just upsetting, and Tayama was really upset. Yamada was upset about the complaint because it was a stupid complaint that kind of didn't even reflect on her way, because if she did something like drop some or like shout and like catch them, I'll be like, okay, that was wrong, but like, why though? Just because your perception or what you thought was Yamada was ruined, now you want to complain? That's just dog shit. If the manager also thought that that was trash, because that's not how life works. Yeah, and she was pretty upset when she smoked this much. I feel like her lungs were crying out loud right now because I don't know how many packs there, but like I feel like this is like a full pack and a half, because this is a full pack and she probably started another pack on her own to just get frustration out. Like how does smoking really help like relieve stress? I don't know. It's like a dopamine type of thing where like you get a fake high. Yeah, and what like even Sasuke was really really shocked about like him having a day off, because that's like I said, that's not something that really happens in a workplace. See, even Tayama kind of confirms it that Sasuke's workplace is a very toxic workplace. I don't want to say all workplaces in Japan are toxic, but like they always overwork their workers, which I don't really. If I do overtime, I want to get paid for that overtime, because you know because I doubt because most people in Japan who do overtime don't really get paid overtime. which I find that crazy, but no. Anyway, that's all for the episode review. It's like I said, basically me yapping all the time. This was a genuinely good episode. It had a lot of awesome moments, and like I said, it's a slow burn moments, which I really love slow burn. And even in the episode, even this scene alone, the last part of the episode, a segment where we didn't meet Tayama, we actually had like an actual conversation with Yamada where like I say it's a rare because the only time we talk to Yamada is in the convenience so it's only a brief interaction. We just say hey and hello, but like this last segment of where we just talk to Yamada and like such got to see a different side of Yamada that he never actually sees was like a really awesome moment. Like, and now what does he think right now? Because one, Yamada has her eyes open, like dead eyes. She looks like Tayama. Like, does he need glasses? Maybe it's the glasses things. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Hunter, and I'll go sleep now. It's almost 3 right now, and I'm really tired. Like, I didn't want to put this on because I've been putting a lot of, like, last week I put up a lot of videos because I don't want Wi-Fi problems or whatever, but like I didn't want to put this off, so I told myself if it gets fixed today, I'm gonna do it, and it got fixed late, and then I was like, I'm not holding this off, I'm gonna do this right now, and I was able to do it. I finished all 3 anime, was this all late in the night, and I'm not even tired, but I need to sleep because my body is tired, but like my mind is not. Anyway, see you guys.